and basic terminology, set ID, object unit, control, transaction tables, and other setups. And purchasing we have covered, and now we are planning to cover and to begin with the account payable module. And as you know that account payable is a very much integral part of Peoplesoft implementation. And since so, if you have in your organization uh, like modules like procurement, then definitely you implement account payables, because account payables is in Peoplesoft is quite robust and integrated solution by Oracle Peoplesoft ERP. And it's many times what happen in a company, they even don't have uh, purchasing as a sub module. They don't implement themselves that module into Peoplesoft, but in most of the scenarios they used to have account tables, because in Peoplesoft the thing is like the more licensing cost is there if the more modules you use. So if you are using 4 or 5 modules, you need to pay for 4 or 5 modules. So account payables is such an indispensable module in Peoplesoft that people have to have it, and no matter what system they are using for procurement, purchasing, order management, billing, but they have account payables because it's quite handy and robust. So we are going to start with that. And okay, and like you shared the things which we will be covering is all the list we agreed upon, and we will be covering in coming days. Okay, are you with me?
Yeah, do you hear me? I have one, two more, two
Hello.
things.
Voice is not audible.
Hello, do you hear me? Aditya,
Hello.
do you hear me? Hello?
Uh,
Hello?
Hello.
Aditya, do you hear me?
Uh, Arush, I cannot hear you properly. Are you on mic?
I'm talking the same way I used to talk. Do you hear me now?
I hear you, but it's a very feeble voice. It sound like you are talking in some distance from microphone.
Actually, I'm very close to.
Okay, I try to to listen you.
Hold on, let
Yeah.
me see if I can see the chat room maybe. Okay, so I was looking what we had in the beginning, like what I was told we're gonna cover, and I found some of the stuff in purchasing which we didn't cover yet too. So I was thinking, do you think we should go through them first, or should we
Okay.
go to them
So
later?
okay, what were topics, Arush?
Um, okay, should I email it to you?
You can just let me know now. Maybe we can discuss tomorrow or possible today. So how many such topics are there? Are there too many?
I think there are too many.
Okay, like
Maybe you
can you
can do
state
it in
some?
one section or two section, but
Okay, okay. Uh,
I saved them in the. Okay, I should I email it to you later or right now? Hold on,
uh, okay, okay. you can email me. You can email me topics which which is yet to be covered, and we can have session for that.
Okay, okay. So let's go with the PO. And for the PO, so we're gonna go with PO right now, and then that purchasing, the missing part we do later. Yes.
We are gonna start AP.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry.
Today.
We're gonna start AP and do the missing purchasing later. And for AP,
Yes. Uh-huh.
we're gonna do everything, all those topics which I was told earlier.
Right. Yeah,
We're
right.
not going to
Yeah,
do
that's
only 5, 6. The ones which Shervini emailed me in the first time. We're going to do the whole list. Am I right?
right.
I think I shared you that list like twice so far. Okay, sounds good. Let's do it. Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure we're in the same track in everything. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, everything is in tech. And have you mailed me the list for purchasing, which were left out?
Oh, no, can I email you later because I don't, I put it in somewhere. I cannot find it right now.
Oh, okay, no issue. Actually, I was just curious what such topics. Okay, you post this session. We can what we can do. We can you can mail me and I will go through them and we will have one session for that. Right?
Okay.
Sound good?
And yeah, one more thing. Can you guys record the lecture? Because for some reason, every time I record it, I don't know where the or tell me, do you know where the file goes when we record it? Because I don't find it. But I know Shervini, he emailed it to me, like the first 2 lecture. But after that, I recorded, but I couldn't find the recordings.
Okay. It should be in your.
And your battery is dying too. Be careful.
Yeah. Charging is. Okay. So you were able to record, but you are not able to find the location for it, right?
I'm not sure if it's not recording or I cannot find. I guess you're right. Yes, I cannot find the location for it. But the 2 times with the first 2 lectures which Shervini emailed it to me, that's the only 2 I have. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where is it. Yeah, is it in the?
So
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it should be ideally it should be in your system somewhere. Maybe in your video documents in video section. And if you do not find it, we are recording it and we will mail you.
Yes, please record it. Thank you. Because I will look again too, but I don't.
Yeah. But it should be there in your system somewhere. Maybe what you can do, you can just that's you can just search that item. Maybe we can Google it or somewhere we can discuss. Or in none of that work, we will email you, right? So let's begin with AP, and whatever left off in purchasing we will cover later, right?
Okay, sure.
So
Go ahead.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're recording this time, yes?
Yeah. You also recorded. And we are also recording it. And
okay, thank you, guys.
Okay, so let's begin. And I have a list with you, list shared by you for AP, and so we are just starting, and in in AP, for AP implementation, anything, if you want to start implementing AP in your system, so first thing you do is, like we did in in case of purchasing, we go into products and we select account payables here, right? So like purchasing, we did here for purchasing, check this box, right? So similar to these modules, components start appearing in your system. So same thing we will do for payables, right? And that's it, nothing much on that side. And there's some product options as well, but that are not much of use, that are for common options, which doesn't we need to bother about. So there's nothing much in installation options side which we do for implementing AP, but just one thing we need to do is check that account payables checkbox, okay, and then we can begin the journey in AP side. And just let you know that, like I told you in purchasing also, so we must have one GL unit before purchasing, right? Because general ledger is the final destination for each module. And so what we do generally, ideal practice is we do setup part for general ledger first. So we define general ledger BU first, and then we go for other some module business unit. So we will discuss more about GL once we will go in that section. But on account payable side, we just did the installation option, checking that, and right, and then we can begin with our account payables. And so next topic is our table sets. Okay, so table set is just like I told you in earlier session is as well, like it is based on your table set ID, and table set ID is the same and one and the same thing as set ID. So why we use table set, Arush?
For reporting purpose, and for reporting purpose to organize, I guess, a country, and controlling the control tables. All right.
Right, control. Yeah, you are right. Definitely, the right answer is just to controlling using control tables. So basically, if any table, just in layman terms, if any tables, if you want to share, any table across business unit, you need to have a set ID key. That's it. That's a bit thumb rule for it. So any table you want to share across location, business unit, you need to put them with set ID as a key, higher level key. Otherwise, you can work along with business unit. Make sense? So table set, yeah.
Across a location and business unit and other Chartfield, or just location and business unit across the set ID?
See, any table, if you want to share across business unit, then you will add set ID key in that record. Suppose there is one table, okay, one table of vendor table you want to share across business units, then you will add set ID in it. That's it. That's anything, any rule, anything you want to share across business unit, you will add just one key, set ID. That's what we discussed earlier as well. So the idea is set ID. Why we use? There are two higher level key in Peoplesoft. One is set ID and one is business unit. So if if you want to limit one thing just to a business unit, you will add just business unit as the first key. And if you want to share it, then you will use set ID. Yeah. So set ID or table set, right? So same thing we discussed in purchasing section. So table set ID and record group. I told you about the record group as well. That record group are nothing but just a group of records, tables, which are functionally related. So all the record of which are related to purchasing are contained in purchasing record group. All the groups, all the tables which are you know part of account payables, they are put into record group of account payables, right? So where was the navigation for that?
Set up supply chain and common definition, I think.
Yes, correct. Then where I need to go?
let me sorry. Business request configure. I'm not sure what would be what was the next step after common definition.
So it should be under common definition.
Oh, Chartfield, design Chartfield, maybe.
No, design chart field is for different purpose. Let me show you design
Okay.
chart field first. Yeah, so chart field is basically for your chart feeds. What are the chart feeds for your system? They are for your system. So here you give your set ID. Suppose I give set ID here as. So you are aware, right? Set ID and table set ID. I told you they are one and the same thing.
Yes, I do remember you said that.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Yep.
So I select one set ID here. Maybe US001 is the one with value, with some value, right?
So account is a chart field.
Sorry? Yes, account is a chart field.
So if I want to define a new chart.
Yes. See, I am defining a new chart feed and it's giving me option of available chart feeds. So there are 10 chart feeds which are available, and it's asking me what chart feed you want to add. So I will add account.
Sure.
Okay. And you can put anything here.
Okay, so this test is the name of this new chart field. Okay.
Right. Generally, we give here some numbers. You have seen account as a number 2001, 1002, something like that, right?
Okay. Last time we didn't put any attribute value, so that so attribute value could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Yes. Or?
Yes. It could be anything to distinguish it. What is the account value actually? So you give account in purchasing accounting distribution line, right? You put some number there. So that is that number.
Okay. And it could be more than one number here.
More than one numbers?
Yeah, it's a chart field attribute value, and it could be more than one value for one same account. More than one value, because you see the plus sign next to it. It's a
Yes. That is for different purpose. That is not for this thing. That is for different purpose. For now, you just think about it. You just gave me, you just think that there are different chart feed available. It could be account, it could be department, it could be anything. And to enter that value, you need to you need to come here and to to assign value, you need to come in Chartfield section, Chartfield value, and there you will give Chartfield account or department specific value. Now the thing is, Chartfield is something we will talk about little later. Just before the Chartfield, we just discuss a few things, like we discussed installation option, we discussed about table set and record group, which we discussed in purchasing as well. So what other things are required just to kick off in in our account payables modules, right? So first thing we did was installation option, and we select the account payables there. Then what we did, then we go and created general ledger definition should be there already. So there should be a GL business unit. Okay. Then what is required is the next step would be your user preferences. Okay, so account payable is eventually is being used by your end users. So why we do user preferences in any system, be it in account payables, be it in purchasing? What's the purpose of it? Why we did it in procurement?
I thought in procurement. I thought we did business unit after. I don't remember we did. I guess I don't remember if we did user preference. Is it user preference is the way it should look like, or specific?
See, user preference. Okay. Yes, they are specific to user. I guess we discussed about it when we discussed about the requester setup and buyer setup.
Yes,
remember that?
Yes, we did requester.
Yeah. So when we do the requester setup, when we do requester setup in case of requisition, when we do buyer setup in case of buyer setup, sorry, in case of purchase order, right? So post that we need to do user preferences as well for that requester and that buyer. So in case of see what we discuss here. So you give any employee ID here. Currently it is VP1. Okay. Now, like I told you in that scenario, here we give default business unit. What will happen whenever it open any page which has such such page key field as business unit, then this business unit will appear. You know, right?
For this VP1, you're
yes.
saying always the default would be this business unit.
When we click on add a new value, this value will appear.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, and then that is the set ID for it here. So all the business unit which are all the vendor information, all the customer information, control data information which are linked and keyed with this are going to appear in the lookups. Okay, and same way what we did in user preferences in procurement is like I told you, online ONL, when it will create a purchase order and requisition, then origin would be online. Department, if we want to fix a department, and then we can put here any department here, and that means when it will enter purchase order and requisition, then in distribution or in voucher, the department, if there is a department key there available, then it will default with this department ID. Ship to location, we discussed about where we want our item to be shipped, then we can put it here, right? Buyer, so buyer is someone for who is buying the purchase order, who is responsible for the purchase. So that thing will appear here. Requester is same way like requisition we did, right? So both these things are there, and they are the default value. You can override it in your purchase order or requisition. So
if you
purchase order authorized. Yeah.
So for, yeah, I'm not. Oh my God, I think we may didn't do user preference before. Okay, so if you so for this user, requester is if he wants to do any buying, the requester we put there is it's the person who do the requisition for him. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So if I put the same user ID, that means this person can be requester and buyer himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes. Right. So in this case, what is happening is VP1 is requester and VP1 is the buyer. So that means if VP1 is not authorized to create requisition on someone else's behalf, that's the implication of it. If you will put your Arush ID here, then VP1 would be allowed to raise requisition or purchase order on the Ayush behalf.
Okay.
Yeah. And and when we click on the purchase order authorization, then you can see an order of action like approval action. So that means that purchase order that VP1 is allowed to approve it. VP1 is allowed to cancel, delete, close, reopen, can work on approved POs, can dispatch unapproved POs, full authorized for all buyer. When you click on that full authority for all buyer, it means that VP1 is authorized to create PO on each user. When he can create a purchase order on your behalf, on my behalf, on anyone who are in in user list. If you click on this checkbox, you have authority for each one. Or if you want to specifically give ID, then you can come and you can you can put it there. So that's the authorization is about. Similar to purchase order.
So if you in the last one when it was all, do you mean everyone is every buyer is able to buy for him, not he can? Is it right? That's what you meant?
I am saying, see, this user preferences is for VP1. Everything is for VP1. That buyer one, the buyer and requester is for VP1. So purchase order authorization is for VP1. That means just use it as a subject, right? And that is predicate. So VP1 can create purchase order for all the buyers. That
Oh, okay.
signifies yes.
Okay.
If you specifically put some user here, you can do plus, right? You don't want to give authorization for all. You will uncheck it, and you will
Okay. Okay.
separately
So
select one.
I did it. So I guess the part which I'm getting confused, I thought the buyers are the people who do the purchase order. So, or they like after requester do the requisition, the buyers, I thought they are the people who do the purchasing. Am I right or wrong? The
Uh,
buyer, the buyer is the person who do the purchase order.
right. Buyer are the one who do the purchase order. Correct.
Okay. But right now you just said this BP1 can purchase for buyers, or is it a
Yes.
purchase, or is it a, okay? VP1 can purchase for buyer, or every buyer can purchase for the VP1.
VP1 can VP1 when you will log in as a VP1, right? There is when you will log in as a VP1, there is okay, let's do purchase order. Yeah, new tab. See, business unit is US001. See, buyer is VP1, which we define there by default. But I can select anyone here. Why? Because, what's the reason?
Oh, because we choose all there. Okay.
Yes, requisition, purchase order, authorization.
So that means any buyer can buy for him. Okay. Now
Yes.
glad I thought you said he can buy for any buyer. So that's why I got confused.
Right.
Okay. So any buyer can buy for him. Okay. Now that it makes sense. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Right? Okay. So similar to that, we have requester setup as well. Requisition, authorization, same fields you will find here. Okay. And so these were procurement part, and for
Can we go to all of this or
to all links.
yeah, can I at least see them once?
Sorry.
Yeah, is it possible to look at all those options?
Here.
Yep. Okay. Very good. Okay.
So you can see there are available actions: approval, cancel, delete, and close, and reopen. So that means if that user is that VP1 is allowed to approve a requisition, okay, cancel requisition, delete a requisition, close a requisition, reopen a requisition, okay, can work upon approved requisition. What it means? Suppose you raised a requisition and the requisition was approved also. Now, if it is approved, ideally what happened? You are not allowed to touch that if you uncheck this checkbox and save it. But if you check that and save it, that means even if it is approved, you can work upon it.
Okay.
And what action you are seeing here is for a specific requester here. So suppose if I put Rosanna here, and okay, that means for and uncheck this box. So what does it mean? What do you think about now? Just tell me this setup is what this configuration signifies.
Is it Rosanna is going to be able to add, update, and cancel and delete, and have everything else VP1 has? Is it? I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, Rosanna is a requester. Rosanna can request an add, update, and cancel and delete, and send it to VP1.
Arush, one sec. Just think about it. You are seeing the requested authorization. You are seeing the setup for VP1. VP1 is authorized to approve. VP1 is authorized to cancel. VP1 is authorized to this. So this configuration is for VP1. Requisition, requester, user authorization. Now this VP1 is authorized for Rosanna, and he can do these many actions for Rosanna. You're getting my point? When VP1 will log in here.
Okay. So I'm sorry, VP1 is able to do those actions for Rosanna, like do a requisition
Right.
for him? Okay,
Right.
so he's able to do the okay, very good.
Okay, so what will happen when VP1 will access, right? Suppose add a new PO, right? Now he will select this cancel. It will select Rosanna from here, Rosanna, okay, that Rosanna Channing here, and save it. Suppose he select buyer here for Rosanna and select it. VP1 is the user. But if we select only add, update, and delete option, we did not select the close option. That means that for Rosanna, you are not able to close it. That signifies this. That's it. This is the information which this configuration is telling us. So, same way purchase authorization, we have requisition authorization. Just don't be puzzled. Just think about uh, this user preferences is for VP1 user. So and this authorization is VP1. Everything is for VP1. VP1 is authorized for this buyer. VP1 is authorization for this requester. That's it. VP1 is everything is we are talking about here is for VP1. VP1 is authorized for this requester. That's it. Then you will never be confused. So far good? Good to go, Arush?
Yes.
Okay. Now just check the user preferences for part of our AP modules. So what we have so far discussed for purchasing user preferences. Now we will discuss the user preferences for AP, account payables. Right? So you can see that user preferences would be there on this page only. So first we will start with what? Supplier. We can do a lot of user preferences here. Let's select what we did, payable online. What could be the user preferences for account payable? Think about it. That is for contract, that is for purchase order, that is for supplier, means something related to supplier, that means vendor, not related to account payable. Rebate is something different thing, right? And receiver setup, these are different setups. And there is some setup for supplier processing authority. What it could be? Supplier are what? Supplier are our vendors. Okay, so supplier is needed for purchasing as well as for what? Supplier are necessary for procurement as well as for account payables. So if you want to purchase, so you remember we discussed about vendors or suppliers quite in quite details.
Yes.
Yes. So if I showed you the page for vendor general information, what information we gave there, we discussed about the item, purchasing attribute, item group and categories.
Yes.
Yes. So if you enter a vendor, new vendor, right, into the system, then you cannot use it directly, even if you give all the details, vendor address, vendor location, vendor city, street, every detail, but you and each user cannot enter. First of all, there are two things. Means one is authorized to enter vendor, and when you enter it, the other person is authorized to approve it. So if VP1 is, you can give all access to one. So in this case, VP1 is authorized to enter a vendor, VP1 is authorized to approve the vendor, VP1 is authorized to inactivate the vendor, and supplier audit as well. So this user is a super user. That's why. Otherwise, ideal scenario is one user. We have one vendor team who enter the details of vendor, and another team is the higher management team. They approve whether or not this vendor should be activated. We want to do business with, right? That's vendor setup, user preferences, which we do. Then there is a payable online vouchering that is related to account payables. Okay, so VP1, when it will create a voucher or something, anything in AP, by default origin will be your online and copy match and close PO. That is matching we will discuss in detail later. But I told you about matching is just the name signifies. I told you in account payables we have 4 types of matching. We will discuss in detail later. But like I told you that what we match basically, just in layman term, we will match the purchase order, we will match the receipt, which we create receipt yesterday. The same receipt we will match, means whatever item we ordered, the item we received, and the vendor invoice. 3 things we generally match. Okay, so that's matching we do. And online voucher processing, do not check voucher amount, check voucher amount. These entry limit we can put here. So So it means that uh, if I put some entry here, 1,000, some value here, that means VP1 is not allowed to enter any voucher with entry amount less than greater than 1,000. So we are just putting one restriction for that user. If we if we do not want to have such a restriction, we will just say do not check voucher amount. Okay, and this is the action available post vouchers and manually scheduled for payment. That means that user is allowed for posting a voucher. So we will discuss what is posting. So just for now, just think about these are action available for VP1. Okay, so in ideal scenario, if, just you are seeing that one user is not able to post a voucher. So he will say, I am not able to post a voucher. So you will come in your user preferences and you will see whether or not this checkbox is checked or not, right? And there is one limit. Voucher style. Voucher style is nothing but type of voucher. So what type of voucher? When you add a system, you are aware of voucher, right, Harush?
Yes, voucher is like creating check to pay, I guess, the vendors or anyone else. Yes.
Yes, yes. Voucher can be so. What can be the scenario like? Where we can pay to our vendors as well from where we bought some service or good, or what can be the other scenario of voucher?
Vouchers could be any type of payment. To like our employers maybe too. Yes.
Yes. Why we will pay our employees through voucher? In what scenarios?
Maybe they had traveling and we want to pay for their expense.
Good, right, definitely, that's correct. That's one thing, and that's absolutely correct. When our in expense module, we get we get our payment from our employer through voucher account payable part. That's very much a right answer. And think about, can we have salary from vouchers?
Maybe, but I thought mostly they use account payroll for that, but HR payroll module.
Right, payable. They don't use account payable. That's the answer I was expecting from you, and that's correct up to some extent. But what happened? The contract employees. They are not enrolled in, yes, in most of the scenarios in companies like they have a system that those who are contract-based employees, they are not paid through payrolls because they are not full-fledged employees. They run payroll only for permanent employees, not for contract employees. For such employees, we do make payment through HRMS, through account payables. So this is a scenario you can face in your interview, you can face in your day-to-day transaction, that you are paying employees, you are creating voucher to pay and contract employee. Okay.
What is a journal voucher? Like, is it sourcing voucher to GL? That's what they mean by journal voucher?
Yeah, we will discuss about those when we will discuss about voucher creation. But just you ask, I will just give you little information about that, but so that you don't get messed up. Journal voucher are just like ordinary voucher, but it's why journal, because journal you create journal voucher just to make adjustment. what happens? Suppose you raise one voucher, and after voucher they go to general ledger, and in general ledger we what are the main thing created there is journal ID. So and after journal ID is created and posted, they go further to ledger. But what happens in year close and month end close, sometimes their TB does not match trial balance. So trial balance is something, whatever our income, our expenditures, our revenue, and our starting balance should be same. Means our starting balance plus our revenue, it should be equal to your end, whatever you have. Suppose I start with $1,000 as my capital, and I had in the beginning of my financial year, and I have earned $500 in that year, so my total income would be $1,500, right? But I will negate there the expenses which occurred throughout the year. So suppose expenses are $100. So that's we think that's thing we. So ideally I should, at the end of December, what amount I should have in my pocket is $1,400, right?
Yes.
So just yes. So that's what we track in trial balance. Just to make some analogy, I just gave you that answer, and so that's we do in trial balance. That's very simple, in a very simple example. Ideally it's not that simple. So what happens, sometimes we are not able to figure out why we are, now we know that 1400 should be in our pocket. This is the output which we should have, but sometimes we are not able to locate the amount we have, and we are not able to where expense has gone, where the payables liability has gone. So general voucher is for that purpose only. It's like you are doing some adjustment. You are creating a voucher just to make your trial balance accurate. Suppose you are not able to, ideally you should have $1,400 at the end of year, but you are having only $1,300. You are not able to locate where is this $100 has gone. Okay, so what you will do, you will come into account payable and you will create a voucher for $100 or something like that. So journal voucher is just for adjusting the journal, adjusting the sum of your trial balance, and for some adjustment in which happen in journal GL side. So that purpose. So ideally you create voucher to make payment to your vendors or your contracting employees. But if you have some discrepancy in general ledger, then you come and create some voucher, general voucher, just to match your total match the total of your debit and credit in general ledger. So we will discuss more in detail about this in your subsequent sessions. Yes, but just this link told us that this VP1 is allowed to enter general voucher. That's it. Okay, so we discussed about the so far we discussed about the user preferences for purchasing, procurement, receipt acquisition, and all this thing. Now we will be discussing our next topic, which is and we discussed about the purchase account payable user preferences. Now we will discuss the locations. So location, I guess I told you, right? I'm just going by the index or the table content you shared with me for AP. Okay. Is that fine?
Yes.
So, sir, so that we don't run out any topics, we don't miss any topics in the list.
Okay.
So, location, I guess we discussed, right? We go to so just tell me what was the navigation for location.
Oh, I did not memorize them, but I think supply. If I should do that, okay. Supply.
Just make a guess. It should be in common definition. Location should be there. Okay. You will find location here, right? So these were location. Do I need to rewind that thing, or you are fine?
I think. Yeah. Let's look at it 1 second, and then if there is a question, I ask.
Okay.
is this, okay, so is this anything different for AP here? Is it just a address? Okay, how
No,
about
no.
the location? That's it, okay, yeah.
That's just same. That's just same. Nothing different for AP side. Same location because that is
Okay,
going to
any
share
location
that ID.
detail?
Sorry?
Location detail, can you,
Yeah, yeah, location. You can go.
okay, number, ID, attention. What
Attention to, you can put anything. Attention to, you can put anything here.
what is
You can put
number?
anything.
What is ID numbers?
Uh, you can see here what are the I think employee ID number. You can put here ID numbers. So basically,
Oh,
what is this detail is about? You can, if you want, in some reporting purpose. Ideally, we don't use it, but Peoplesoft is such a diverse, system. Suppose you want this location that you want to assign someone for communication purpose. Okay, so you can put here some dear
oh,
customer or something like here, some static value here. Save it, and you can just give ID number or something like that.
okay, very good. Okay, got
Okay,
it.
so you can put, yes, you can put thing like this. Okay, so location we discussed, and in location section, and give me a moment, just let me have some water. Okay, so location we discussed, and state, right? You remember state,
Yep,
and no, we don't want to save it.
yep, we can pass.
Okay, so state is there so yeah, what is, we need to configure country first, remember, and we
Okay,
will give some value here, add country, okay, description. So similar way we will do setup in for state, and just three things required, country, state, and location. Okay,
what
so
is
that's
region?
part of, sorry.
What is region? And do we have something called site code?
So these detail are details which are required for different modules. Site reason code. Have you seen reason category IDs anywhere in purchasing?
Like I was talking to someone, they said the way it's set up for us is based on site code and location, RPO. So, and I never heard site code before, but that's what I was told, and I don't know.
See, site code, see, whatever you are putting here is not linked to any purchasing or account payable or any module specific. They are linked to a set ID. If you want that, ideally in purchase order, what was the thing which we seen in the delivered page? You have not seen anything in there in delivered page for reason code. What we have seen was ship to ID, ship to address, ship to location, that thing we discussed about. So there was location. So reason code is for for if you want reason code, basically they use for inventory. I have seen some places where reason code is there just to track their warehouses and segments. So but in if you talk about me, I have not seen purchasing and AP side. I have not seen reason code there, but you can configure it. You can come here and reason code. It's just like you can see east is there, the reason code. There is no state, there is no city. It's just giving us the east, in east direction or in east coast, in that region. If you want your system to be in that manner, it should not be in case of any in case of location or city or state. You can do it through east, through reason code.
Aditi, but do we have something called site code or we don't?
Site code, honestly, I'm not aware of site code. I have not seen that. Maybe you are referring to reason code as a site code.
The way they said they have site code, maybe it's a division area code, because they said we have site code and under site code we have locations. And based on those site code and location, we create our reports, financial reports.
Let me check that thing. I don't see that because they are not linked to any location. First of all, division area code maybe they can.
They're referring to
You can see this is also a division or area code, but that is not linked to a location. But you can use it. You can use it. Peoplesoft give you facility to either use location as a city, state, or provinces, or you can use it through division or area code, or you can do it as a region code.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, corporate. I have seen that corporate reason type is there. So this ID is for corporate office. So there can be other type of office as back office or as warehouse or marketing office, corporate office where all the management sits. So these type of codes are used there. Basically, they are used. Maybe their Peoplesoft is very has so many modules. Even most of the modules we not even heard of grants. There are so many modules. So these setup part is not just for PO and AP. These you can use in other modules, sub-modules as well. Right?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So location is done. I'm doing the checking now so that I don't miss out anything. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah. So in currency option, I think currency I told you.
I like, can we do currency more? Because,
Yes.
you discussed, because the currency is one of the things, I guess in
yes,
the new
currency. Yes. So currency, you are dealing with money in any module. You are dealing with money, right? To be procurement, same setup you will find in billing, same setup you will find in AR, same setup you will find in GL, whatever module you learn. So same module, similar way to purchasing. You need to configure all the currency here, right? Why we have it in separately in each setup? So that if you are just implementing purchasing, then you need to do currency code setup. If you are doing setup only for account payables, you don't have other modules, then you need to do it. If you have all such modules you have set up once, then you need not to do separately for account payable, separately for purchasing. It's just one-time activity.
Okay, but when do you run the currency, what they call it, conversion? When do you run that process? And where do you input?
Currency conversion.
Yeah, when do you run the currency conversion, and where do you enter the rate if you do it manually?
Currency conversion, you asked two questions. Currency conversion is, is very big terms. Currency conversion is a really big term. So if I, answer your question, is like first currency conversion as a transaction level. A transaction level is single entity. You are doing transaction for procurement. What transaction you can do? You can raise a purchase order, raise a transaction. So in transaction like we did currency conversion yesterday also. You are from US and you want transaction to be done in different currency like in euro, okay, euro or British pound. Okay, so what I told you, you go to PO default and header default and select the output currency. Then currency will be converted. And what would be the rate for it? I told you the market rate. So you can see I can give you the navigation also for market rate, from where you keep track of all such thing.
And you said you're gonna email me. One of the things you said you were gonna email me was
For market rate website, right?
yep.
I will tell you. So this is the model. You can see. So if you will select from currency here, so you can see this is the this is saying from currency to currency maximum variance if there is variance of 2.50 max, then it will give you warning or it will stop your transaction. So that's it's processing. Suppose you have entered one transaction in USD and you are converting it to some currency like ADP, and there is a difference between 2.50. You remember we did some when we were doing transaction purchase order. I converted it to INR. Then it showed me error that earlier it was some $1,000, and when we converted it to INR, it became like 68,000 because one USD is equal to 68 rupees. So it gave me error that the amount has exceeded the variance because 68,000 is way greater than. Okay, so give me a moment. I just. So, one second, just. Yeah. So what I was telling you, so if there is a variance of more than 2.50, then it will give us okay. Okay, so market rate is this thing, and market rate, uh, market
Inside,
rate. Let's just check. Yeah.
okay. Here in this
Yes.
page, we don't talk about like if $1 is how many rupee, are we? What
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
this model? What is okay?
Okay. We will show you. I'll show that. Is it index exchange? Okay, average. Okay, you can see the rate is from currency to currency, and it's giving you the rate of conversion. So if you select from currency to currency, from Australian dollar to French franc, then the rate is this thing.
Yeah. And then I can
Okay.
change it here too. Yes. Okay.
Yes, you see the maximum variance. So that's the same thing, and Okay, so so that's what we discussed. This is the you just need to come on this page, market rate. You need to just select the from currency USD. Okay, put a search. You can come here and you can select two currency. I select INR. It's giving me 39. You remember earlier it was 39. I told you that it is not reflecting the right value, the current value. Okay. Okay. So
So do you know what tables are behind this, and if I like to load it from somewhere
yes,
else?
yes, yes,
Oh,
yes. So it is always from somewhere else. PeopleSoft is not managing this thing, this conversion rate. I told you there is some site. There is not site. There is some web service. Web service. There is a market rate integration broker message. You are aware of integration broker?
yes. That's a
You
bit.
are aware.
Yep.
So what is XML inbound message?
What is inbound message?
Yes, XML message or service operation message. What you
So
make out of it?
you the it's the message we get the respond back, and the type normally is XML if it's like integration broker, and yeah, and it's like we have uh, yeah, the message you attach the message to the HTML is going to be a message part definition. You define in message and you attach it to service operation, and then you attach it to the service. Oh,
Okay,
perfect.
yeah, right. So that is market rate load. This is market rate related messages which are populated through other other part of PeopleSoft from outside PeopleSoft basically. And you can see this is the table rate table, market rate load table, and this table is used to have from currency to currency, rate multiplier, division, rate division. So this is how PeopleSoft synchronize your market rate.
So if I want to not use integration broker and just if I load the
So
data to this table once a day,
yes,
is it gonna
yes,
be
it's
okay? So
yes,
load the
definitely.
data once a day to this table. Okay.
Yes. So when you install a system, it has some value. So that is the same value which is appearing here, but that is not the correct practice. You need to use some integration broker to have this updated one. That's it. This is about market rate, how they updated in system, and we do currency conversion. So does that answer your question?
Oh, perfect. Very good. Thank you. Yep.
Okay, so today's session we have discussed till currency options and some so we will discuss and we discuss about chart feed as well. We will discuss a little bit in more detail for in subsequent sessions. So what you do you just send me across the detail of purchasing, which were you think which is not covered. Okay, and
Thank you.
and yes, and I will
And
cover
so,
them later.
yeah, and I send you, I have a couple questions I send you with to including what was the name of the website you said we can
Yes, yes.
go to currency.
Right,
Sounds good.
right, right,
Okay,
right.
guys,
I will,
thank you very much.
yeah, thanks.
That was,
Take care. Bye.
thank you. Take care, guys. Bye. Please send the recording too if it's possible.
Yeah, yeah, sure. And you also check whether in which
Yeah,
place it's
I do
getting
check,
saved.
man. But if you guys have from the last section, if you have recording, please send it to
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
sure.
find it. Okay, thank you. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Good night. Bye.